10:02, good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs, 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Day one of the legal tampering period in the NFL is in the books, and the Titans made some big moves, signing wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson on a 4-year deal worth $78 million, including $38 million in guaranteed money. Former Saints cornerback and Middle Tennessee native Alontae Taylor signed a 3-year, $60 million deal with $42 million in guarantees. Defensive lineman John Franklin Myers, the former Bronco, 3-year, $63 million with $42 million guaranteed. The Titans also brought in Mitch Trubisky as a backup quarterback on a 2-year deal, among other moves for cornerback and offensive line depth. In the latter stages of the day, a splash move sent a future Hall of Famer to the West Coast as former Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans signed with the San Francisco 49ers on a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million with $16.5 million guaranteed in year one. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Really got that one from your groin, did you?
It really goes off the tracks on that last little stanza.
No, I loved it.
I felt like it was kind of on beat until I tried to put a little English on the last line.
Let me get a little growl in there. Let me have some vocal variation.
It's by far the worst one out of the ones.
No.
Yours are way better.
Don't say that. Don't say that, because then he's not going to make one next time.
No,
he did
that's
a great
never.
job.
Incompetence has never prevented or stopped us from doing anything.
Yeah, I think the fact that we're going to continue to use yesterday's legal tampering songs and imaging that Robert slaved over for, I don't know, maybe about, 30 minutes before we walked into the studio, and then slapped it all over the place for them to sign, a backup quarterback and a tight end number 2 while we were on the air, and then Zach and Blaine got to have all the fun. 3HL, of course, after that, to react to the news. 9 new players in the legal tampering period. You have a number of different things that the Tennessee Titans went out of their way to add. The biggest single position that they addressed was corner with Cordell Flott. Alontae Taylor comes home, bringing him back to Nashville. And Joshua Williams, I don't know if he prefers Joshua or Josh. Either way, another Chiefs corner, a third cornerback signing later in the evening. Robert and I were in the middle of prime time, so that was probably about 7:30 when Josh Williams was signed. 2 offensive linemen for mostly depth and competition. John Franklin Myers and Wan'Dale Robinson are your big-ticket items on the defensive line and in your wide receiver core, respectively. So, how do we feel?
Mike Borgonzi loving those former Chiefs.
Former Chiefs?
Former Chiefs corners.
Okay, well, we've got a number of different things here. You've got
familiarity across the board.
Familiarity, and that's people wring their hands over that, I think, sometimes. Yeah, this is what happens everywhere in the NFL. Look at the Patriots roster. How many of them are former Titans, right? It's when Arthur Smith got hired in Atlanta. How many former Titans went down there?
Oh, yeah, Bud went down there. Mariota went down there. Quite a few.
There's always familiarity, especially in year one. Now, is somebody like Brian Dable going to be here beyond 1 year? I don't know. We'll see. But for the purposes of getting this thing kickstarted a little bit on offense, don't have much of an issue with them bringing in players that they're familiar with. It was an easy joke, though. I saw, because it's getting mixed results. Titans obviously did add a number of different players, and not, top of market contracts or anything like that, but above average contracts for solid to slightly above average players. There's no superstars among them. You're not really in the business of signing superstars in free agency at this point in time. You're trying to create your own.
So all of the ties, Mitch Trubisky played for Dable for a year in Buffalo. Wan'Dale Robinson, obviously the Dable Giants connection. Cordell Volson does not have a connection with anyone on the coaching staff, right? At least not any of the coordinators or the head coach.
Not that I've seen.
The old one.
What's that?
He had a Callahan connection.
That's right. Was a former Bengal. Austin Schlottman, the center that they signed a 2-year deal, $9 million total, played for the Giants, correct, at one point? Mm-hmm. Jermaine Johnson, obviously, they traded for that played for Saleh. John Franklin Myers played for Saleh in New York. Cordell Flott played for the Giants with Brian Dable. Joshua Williams is a Mike Borgonzi connection in Kansas City. And Alante Taylor, I suppose, is a connection to the area in and of itself.
So it's fine, right? I mean, there's nothing extreme. You got Wan'Dale Robinson for less than $20 million. You know, incentives can get it up to 19.5 on AAV. But for a slot-specific player to add to your receiver core, that's about what the market goes for at this point in time. You didn't have one. Now you have one. And it's one, a player in particular, the coaching staff seem to prioritize. We know that they are going out of their way to find familiar pieces and parts for the coaching staff first and foremost, and then trying to continue to rebuild this thing in their image. Now, it was a popular joke yesterday on the internet because it seemed like most people were split on what the Titans did. I really don't have a strong feeling one way or the other. Like, it's fine. They needed better players. They got better players. Are they all better at their respective positions than the guys who were previously occupying those roster spots? Probably. But that's because they were a 3-14 football team. So, of course, there was going to be some level of improvement here. These are all at least starting caliber players in some form or fashion.
The overpay is not crazy, right, on Wan'Dale Robinson. I think we were all bracing ourselves.
I don't even think it's an overpay. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's what it costs to get a slot receiver in free agency that wasn't previously on your team. So with that in mind, I am not I'm not worried about the money necessarily anyway, but I don't consider that to be an overpay. I just consider that to be what you were going to have to pay if you wanted to sign him specifically. Giants wanted him too. So you gave him an incentive-based contract that bumped him up potentially $2 million more a year. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good with Wan'Dale Robinson making $17.5 million a year to be a really good slot receiver that you can use in a bunch of different ways. It doesn't mean you're bringing him in to be a wide receiver one and your biggest red zone threat that can go up and get 50-50 balls, right? Like, you still need that player in this offense, and hopefully you can get that player somewhere along the way in the NFL draft. Maybe you have to get that player next year. Maybe Calvin Ridley has to be that player for you in 2026. But I think there's this idea that Wan'Dale Robinson, because he is the quote-unquote big money receiver they brought in, is your wide receiver one and has to be your leader in targets. But does it have to be? Or is that just a player that they like and that's the market on him? And he's making less than even most projected he would make here.
The latter. That's just, it's what it is. There's winners and losers pieces out there already on ESPN.com. We can talk about Bill Barnwell's winners and losers. It will shock nobody in the Titans fan base to discover that the Titans were pigeonholed into the loser category with the Browns on the first day of legal tampering. Free agency technically doesn't begin until tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Central Time. We will be at Bridgestone tomorrow, by the way. And for the remainder of the week for the SEC tournament, Vols don't play until Thursday. Vanderbilt's first game is when?
Vanderbilt is a 4 seed, so they have the double bye.
Okay,
they will start on Friday. So they will await the winner between Tennessee and either Mississippi State or Auburn. Mississippi State and Auburn will play tomorrow.
So I would defer to Titans fans on how you feel about the work that your team, your front office, did yesterday. Space this year? No. Don't have to do that. Not unless they feel that they absolutely have to have one of these players that's still out there or can address a number of different needs with some mid-tier contracts. But for the most part, I don't know. I just kind of feel like these are mid-tier contracts. The one that maybe if you had to argue that one was objectively an overpay, it would probably be Bellinger, because that is towards the high end of the money on a tight end too.
So we do have the contract breakdowns for 3 of the free agents the Titans signed yesterday: Alante Taylor, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Daniel Bellinger. And if you look at the breakdown of his contract, it's not egregious. Like, you're looking at it, he's making $8 million a year on average. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's too high. But then you look and see his cap hit is $5 million this year, which is 1.6% of the cap.
Yep.
Next year it goes up to $8 million, which is the average. But after that, in 2028, you can cut him and save $8 million.
And your cap will be so much. Again, the rights renegotiations for the NFL are about to go down. Okay, so anything that you think is monopoly money now, the cap, if it jumped $50 million next offseason, I would not be surprised. So all of these contracts, anything that you see this year, I promise you, you're going to feel better about it next year, no matter how bad it is, whether it's Ridley, whether it's Dan Moore, whether it's John Franklin Myers, whichever contract you decide you want to nitpick on. Well, they're paying too much for what this player does or who this player has been and blah, 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 whatever. It's going to keep going up. I'm not saying that that's the way that you justify free agent spending every year because, again, I reiterate, that cap space is for your players that you draft, develop, and retain if this thing goes to plan the way they want it to.
I feel like I am very desensitized at this point to the giant number. Like,
it's fine.
It is crazy that Tyler Linderbaum shifted the center market as much as he did.
Yeah, by percentage, what was it, a 66% jump?
Yeah, like that's crazy.
That may be the only signing that was understated as far as the value of the contract. Like, just in terms of how much money he's getting over an extremely short period of time, and like in regards to other 4 and 5 and 6 year contracts, like he gets another bite of the apple at 28. And in between then, he's still getting $60 million guaranteed. He's too good of a player. They're going to have to renegotiate after 2 years if they'd like to keep him.
Well, that's how you know he had leverage, because Jack Conklin did a similar deal. Obviously, the money was different. What was this, 2020, when Jack Conklin signed with the Browns? But he did a 3-year deal that I think was 20 AAV at a time when tackles were just starting to get into that range. Laramie Tunsil is famous for doing this. He does shorter-term deals so he can continue to cash in on the tackle market. I think Laramie Tunsil has reset the tackle market himself at least twice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the rate at which these markets are getting reset multiple times in one offseason, right? Like, last year alone, what Myles Garrett did to the, let's say, pass rusher market, and then what Micah Parsons did to it within like a few months of each other. So it can be hard to keep up with, okay, how much is too much for a player? How little is too little for a player of this caliber at this position? It's hard because that carousel is spinning fast, man.
Something interesting in looking at the 3 contracts we have, not really Daniel Bellinger, he doesn't really pertain to this, but in Alontae Taylor and Wan'Dale Robinson's case, it's kind of interesting. We hear a lot about front-loading contracts, back-loading contracts. They kind of mid-loaded these contracts. So where, okay, Alontae Taylor's cap hit in year 1 is $14 million. Safe, fair, we love that number. That's a good number for a starting nickel. In year 2, his cap hit is $25 million, which is high. It's very high, 7.7% of the cap, but you can also get out from underneath him in the 3rd year. Look at Wan'Dale Robinson's contract, 11.2 in year 1, 3.5% of the cap. In year 2, he makes $20 million. 0.7, and then after that, he never makes more than $20 million a year. It looks like they're trying to get the big money on these deals done while Cam's cap number is lower on the rookie deal, and that's going to give them more in 2 years. In 2028, all of these contracts that they've signed will essentially be free to move off the books. You can make a little money to cut these guys if you need to. So if they have to go into free agency again in 2 years, they would have the money to do so. I think this is a really smart play on Borgonzi's part. It gives them money to move around. Next year might be a little tighter, but also gives them money in the future they could use to acquire talent.
Yeah, I think it's, again, you don't have to have a strong opinion one way or the other about it, obviously, until this team, you see what this team looks like. But in principle, you went value shopping at a number of different positions, and you were able to net a handful of players at positions of need that were at what the market value said that they were. It's somebody in the somebody in the chat said this earlier, and forgive me, Kent says, stop looking at the dollar amount, look at the cap percentage of the positional contracts. They haven't changed. Percentage of cap is how you should be judging this, not this AA. The AAV is the easy thing to get caught up in. It's the easy thing to talk about. It's the easy thing for insiders to tweet because it makes the agents look like they did deals that are way bigger than they actually did. And that's fine. Like, that's just the game of social media and marketing for agents so that agents can continue to gather clients and think that, you know, if I sign with this agent, he's going to get me so much more money than that agent would, right? This is all a part of what the NFL news reporting cycle is. But percentage of cap on these contracts is the thing that you should fix your attention on the most. And if you do that, you look at these deals and you say, yeah, it's fine. It's just fine. Because ideally, they would be a just fine football team in 2026. And anything that you can get above and beyond that would be gravy at this point, because you're 3-14 back-to-back years. You just need solid football players. You need to continue to add talent in the draft, of course, but we're not there yet. So if you fill out your baseline with the kind of guys that you've got in this round of free agency with 9 total players, I feel pretty good, if I was a Titans fan, about the way that they've spread the money around. Now, impossible for anybody to win or lose a game on March the 10th. So at some point, I'm sure people will complain about, whether it's Daniel Bellinger or it's Wan'Dale Robinson or Cordell Flott or whatever. Like at some point, one of these players is going to draw your ire because something's going to happen. But we're not there yet. So just talking about the value add of the players that they went out of their way to sign yesterday, or to start to sign yesterday, they have still more work to do. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to chime in. We'll take your phone calls. What was your reaction to the first day of legal tampering? Are we done with the tamper time sounder, or do we still get that throughout the course of the day? Because obviously the news cycle has slowed considerably.
It's still tampering time.
It's
tamper time.
Yeah, it's still tamper time.
If we get any deals, you better believe that I'm going to hit you with tamper time.
Okay.
Until what is the time? 3 p.m. Central Time
3
tomorrow?
p.m. Central Time Wednesday.
Yeah.
That is the start of the new league year. That is when contracts can be made official. That is when trades can be made official. That is when releases like Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins and all these other ones can be made official.
Tamper time.
Yes. Ed is in New Jersey. We got Ed.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm wondering, after the first day so far, what we've seen and what they will do you think there's a chance that we can have filled enough holes where, say, in the first 3 rounds of the draft, we can go best player available?
I would think you would do that regardless of how that strategy played out. And I would, I'm sure there's going to be conversations had, especially at the 4th overall pick, where you should just take the best player available, right? That is no question about it. Whether you deem that to be whomever's there, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, whomever is the top player at that point on their board, I'm good with it, regardless of position. I think that fans get caught up, and you guys may correct me if you feel differently about this, but I do think fans get caught up in drafting for need far more than NFL organizations actually do. And I'm not, Rand is maybe not the best example of this, because I think Rand's an easy target for his time here. But Rand and Vrabel that first year, so that would have been 22? 23?
23 was the Skoronski Levis.
Okay, so that was Rand and Vrabel's first year together, or only year together.
Because J-Rob was fired December 22.
Yes. So I remember them getting to the podium, and both of them did not realize until Robbie Boren, the director of PR at the time, had informed them, hey, you guys know you made every pick on offense this year, right? Where the line of roll the dice, play the board, kind of started to pick up some traction. I think that's pretty close to the quote, if not the exact quote. But more often than not, they are looking at how their board falls, what players are selected around them. They have contingency plans at every position. And, does drafting for need occasionally come up? Sure, but not as often as I think people think it does.
And I think more to the caller's question, did they fill enough of their needs that there isn't a pressing need that they are forced to do in the first 3 rounds?
Why don't we talk about that next? Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. So, Robert, reset the conversation that you wanted to have with the audience based on the 9 different players that the Titans added in free agency, 10, as far as re-signing goes, with bringing back Morgan Cox, the long snapper. What is the branch of this that you want to peel off here?
Yeah, so the caller asked, did they do enough yesterday to preclude them from having to draft for need in the first 3 rounds? And we talked about best player available and why you should have that draft strategy. But in a vacuum, did they do enough? Did they add enough players at positions of need to make them so they don't have to go after it? They don't have to go after a defensive lineman in the first, second, or third round. They don't have to go for a corner in the first, second, and third round. Are there any positions that still remain that you guys think that they absolutely have to take a player at that position in the premium rounds of the draft?
I'd probably still say walk away from the second round with an edge rusher, whether it's in the first or second round.
I think that's fair.
Especially considering where the talent is at the top of the draft and where they sit at 4. Like walking away with Bain Bailey would make this, you feel a lot more full on defense rather than just have a group of bodies to fill it. And we saw, I can't remember who was credited with this, but they said they weren't interested in bringing Jihad Ward back. So you're going to need a guy like that, a larger body who can really set the edge on early downs. I would not be opposed to edge in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, right now, the only transaction for an edge rusher is Jermaine Johnson in that trade, sending Tavondre Sweat to the Jets. So obviously there's time and there's some guys still out there. But there were some big edge deals yesterday.
Yeah, there were. So here's what the roster looks like right now. And just a quick shout out to ourlads.com. They do just great work. I think I probably click on their website 4 times a day.
Easily.
And they've already updated everything based on the first round of legal tampering. So well done by them. Pretty turnkey. Your starting defensive front or starting defense as we sit here today, Jermaine Johnson, Jeff Simmons, John Franklin Myers is going to be an interior defensive lineman, and they don't have anybody else. So it's Femi or Harrell, whoever they would deem to be the more able to handle, as a 3-down player. So Femi, very much an unknown. Jalen Harrell had some solid snaps for a team that just was looking for bodies last year. I'm not hell-bent on saying that Jalen Harrell needs to be their top reserve or anything like that, but that is the most glaring situation that you have right now. You have no depth. On the edge, you have Jermaine Johnson, you have Femi, you have Jalen Harrell. Those are your 3. It's not enough. So, off-ball linebackers is Gray and Barton. Corners are technically Snead, Cordell Flott, and Alante Taylor, but Snead, I don't even know what you do with him.
You said Gray and Barton.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said Graham Barton.
It sounded like you said Graham Barton.
No, I'm sorry, Gray and Barton.
Local Ravenwood product offensive lineman that plays for the Bucks.
Yes. No, not Graham Barton. Gray and Barton. Your cornerback room
Sounds like a law firm.
With Snead. Law firm of Gray and Barton.
Stop. Tampa time. The Buffalo Bills re-signing Dawson Knox to a 3-year deal. We don't have full money yet, but retaining one of their, and I don't even believe he was a free agent, was he? Was Dawson Knox on the market?
I don't remember seeing him on any of these lists. Another local guy, Brentwood Academy.
Signing a 3-year deal.
So he was due $12 million this season, so it is an extension.
Yeah.
Okay. So added on to the end of this deal.
Yeah.
They had an out where they could take on 7.4 in dead money to let him go, but keeping him around.
Dawson Knox, this is from Tom Pelissero, had been due $12 million this season, including a $1.5 million roster bonus that triggered on Sunday. The sides had been working through options and struck a deal to bring him back for year 8. He's been in the league 8 years,
Dude,
7 years already?
It's crazy.
I mean, maybe I'm just at the age where I start doing that all the time, but the fact that he's been in the league for damn near a decade is insane to me.
I guess he played for Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss, but
been long enough.
Feels like he was there more recently.
I think the reason it's notable for Titans fans is the Bills sideline reporter, Sal Capiccio. Capaccio?
I think it's Capaccio.
Capaccio noted this 21 hours ago. Still nothing of note on Dawson Knox's status or contract with the Bills, so still currently counting $17 million against the 2026 cap. But the Titans were always mentioned as a team that he could go to if he was released. He puts in quotations. Dable was there, and Knox is from there, but they just signed Daniel Bellinger to a 3-year, $24 million deal.
Okay, so coming back to the Titans defense, Gray, Barton, corners under contract right now, with the addition of 3 new corners yesterday, include Snead, Joshua Williams, who's the Chiefs corner that they signed, Cordell Flott, Alante Taylor. It was reported that they will not tender Darrell Baker Jr., so theoretically he could re-sign as an unrestricted free agent, but they did not tender him yesterday. Marcus Harris is a 6th-round pick from last year, is also on the roster. Your safeties are Amani Hooker, Kevin Winston, Sanusi Kane, and Kendall Brooks. So that's your defense. Offensively, so our lads has Wan'Dale Robinson and Chimere Dike both as slot players. And that's where Chim did the bulk of his work last year until, well, really, I mean, they had to move all of them around a couple of different ways because of the injury to Calvin. But if I said your starting wide receivers, or the wide receivers who are going to get the bulk of the snaps, let's do it that way. Ridley, Wan'Dale Robinson, and DK, if all 3 are healthy, that would be the trio of players that I would expect to see the most amount of reps on any given game. I love Ellick as a 4. I like that as a reserve role for him to grow into, for him to, to continue to develop his game. Both of them were thrown into the fire last year. We understand that. Offensive line right now is the big issue. Yeah. Because you still don't have a right guard of consequence. You do technically have a center in Austin Schlottman, because Levin is an unrestricted free agent, for what it's worth. So Levin is not under contract here.
Yeah, but nothing about the Schlottman deal reads, there's your center, right? Locked in.
No.
Starter, week 1.
Just means competition.
Right. And I wonder, is this a vote of confidence in Jackson Slater, who they've cross-trained there at center and guard and are looking to maybe grab the reins at one of those positions?
How would we feel if their situation for the Titans offensive lineman came down to a competition between a journeyman and Schlottman and a guy, where did he play? San Diego State?
Sacramento State.
Yeah. And a guy from Sacramento State who's never actually played that position.
Get Stoney Keeley in here sometime to talk about it. Big Jackson Slater guy, Stoney Keeley.
If you had to give me trepidation anywhere, and again, I understand, it's just through the first day, but if we're talking about things that they still desperately need to address, I don't feel good about their offensive line situation today. Now, I could feel differently at the end of the week, depending on what they do. I could feel differently at the end of the draft, depending on what they do. But as we sit here on Tuesday, March the 10th at 10:36 a.m., yeah, the offensive line needs work.
And 2 things can be true. They do need to do work on the offensive line, but I do also feel like they raised their floor with Schlottman and Volson coming in, who both have starting experience on the interior, gives you a little bit of mix and match opportunities. So, while they have a lot of work to do, I think they definitely raise the talent floor for the offensive line. Do you think this also, in the signing of Schlottman, precludes them from going out and bringing Corey Levin back?
No, I don't think at all. Corey's local. He's around, so it's a situation where they could bring him in for training camp if they felt like if they started training camp without him, for example, and had a competition or had some level of competition once they can get actually into pads, and they determine, no, this isn't as good as what we think we can get with Corey. Let's at least bring back some competent depth here. Whether or not he would compete for the starting center spot, he's got experience with Cam, so he's more of a plug and play. I think Levin is going to be available. I don't think there's going to be any kind of, huge market for the services of Corey Levin. And not to disrespect Corey that way, even though that sounds disrespectful, but just kind of the nature of where he is at this point in his career versus what he is as a player.
That would make the most sense, right? Like, try Jackson Slater out, see how he looks with Schlottman in the competition. If you don't feel comfortable with him being your backup center, you could always go get Levin to fill in the spot.
And like Slater, Slater's a 5th-round pick. Those guys get cut all the time. So
Any time.
Right? I mean, I think I want to say Levin was a 5th-round pick, and he might have gotten cut his first year. I can't remember exactly. That was 2017. That's 100 years ago. But Slater's not guaranteed a roster spot, is my point. So you've got one guy in Schlottman who's making legit money, who will be on this roster. Everything else behind him right now, still in flux. So to ultimately answer the question, edge rusher is the thing based on how we understand the draft to fall. And I would defer to guys like Todd McShay or Daniel Jeremiah or anybody who's studying the draft at a more granular level. I'm not familiar with the centers that are available in the draft. I wouldn't lie to you and pretend that I was. That may be a reason, depending on Stoney's schedule. I'm sure Stoney has some working level of familiarity with
I'm sure he
offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman in the draft, right? Like the three of us. Robert, you may know more than Lucas or me.
I bet we could get Stoney in here, and he could literally name all of them.
A man of many talents, it seems.
Yeah.
Terrible diet, but many talents.
Quite the poet.
615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. Do I have things to give away?
You do.
What do I have?
A tube. Is it a family 4-pack? I don't know. You're getting numerous tickets, more than one. But to see Nashville SC take on Miami. When is that game, Lucas?
That is tomorrow night, 6:30.
Lionel Messi
in town, CONCACAF Champions Cup. Because Nashville won U.S. Open Cup last year, they qualified for CONCACAF Champions Cup, which pools all the best teams in North America for the most prestigious trophy in North American soccer. Miami won MLS Cup, therefore they are in the competition. And, of course, Nashville, once again, gets paired with Inter Miami in the round of 16. This is the first leg. It's a 2-leg round. One in Nashville, one in Miami. The one in Nashville is tomorrow night in what should be a fun environment. Messi meets Music City again.
In order to win those tickets, you call in 615-737-1045, but you don't just call and expect the tickets. You have to give us the thing in sports that made you say, oh no. for the opportunity to win some tickets to tomorrow's Nashville SC match against Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. 615-737-1045 is the number. Call in and tell us what in sports made you say, oh, no. This is going to be a popular one, and we did not ask each other what we're using. So if I take this one off the board and the two of you had something planned with this, I think there's multiple different ways that we can branch off the same thing. But I don't know how anybody's oh no in sports this week could be anything but Dak Prescott. This is it's unfortunate. Let me say that first and foremost before we point and laugh at the details on this.
I was going to use this, and then I thought, you know what? Let me not talk about a player's personal life as what made me say, oh, no, in sports. But you go ahead.
Here I am. Don't you worry. No story too sacred for me. I promise you. No. So Dak Prescott and his former fiance have informed the wedding guests that their ceremony is officially not happening anymore. This is the email that TMZ Sports obtained. As many of you know, our wedding is currently scheduled to take place in Lake Como, Italy, on Friday, April the 10th. So, pretty soon.
1 month. Exactly a month.
Pretty soon. It is with heavy hearts that we privately inform our attendees that we have made the very difficult decision to cancel our wedding. We deeply apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you, and we welcome your prayers. Signed, her name is Sarah Jane Ramos, and Dak Prescott. So, there's 250 people, reportedly, that were scheduled to go to Italy for this wedding.
Flights booked.
Yeah, I would
Hotels,
say. I would say.
The whole deal.
I mean, maybe you just go to Italy anyway and be like, hey,
yeah, you better.
we're here.
Or you eat thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I'm sure the wedding, I'm sure it's not just kind of like a ragtag wedding. I'm sure it's not like an eloping type of situation with 250 people. I'm sure there's some level of detail and planning that went into the Dallas Cowboys quarterback's wedding. It's even more curious, and again, this is very much a TMZ story, but because it's sports adjacent, the wives and girlfriends, otherwise known as WAGs, are you familiar with this term?
Yes.
So the Dallas Cowboys wives and girlfriends just did like a big boat trip, okay? Like last weekend.
In the Bahamas, right? It was the bachelorette party.
Was it her bachelorette party?
No, they did a joint bachelor and bachelorette party. They both did it in the Bahamas.
What? No, I missed that detail.
Yeah. Which is a wild move to do your bachelor and bachelorette party in the same place.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, it's the type of thing that could be really fun and could also be disastrous.
I don't think.
I don't know.
I think you run way more risk than you do reward on that situation.
Yeah, I've never spent a week with somebody and go, want to do it again?
Also, what the hell are we getting texts a year out about your bachelor party for? A year out?
Hey, my best man is
settle down,
already
Blue, okay?
frantically planning.
You tell us where to be and we'll show up. All right? Enough.
Tell me when I need to get my tickets.
But, yeah, the entire Dak Prescott situation, obviously deeply unfortunate. I'm sure there's a lot of emotional, stuff going on in there, but it's a pretty big oh no, a month before the wedding.
As someone who is planning a destination wedding as we speak.
Make you nervous, does it?
This sounds like just
Megan decides
the nightmare.
I don't know if I want this remora fish, this hanger-on, this future stay-at-home dad.
Oh, I am, bracing myself for that every single day. Now, it is our 9-year anniversary, by the way, Megan and I.
Today?
Today, yeah.
Whoa.
Dang.
I'm stuck here with you guys.
Crazy.
But, yes, this
Stuck
is
here with us.
the worst nightmare of all worst nightmares for anybody planning a destination wedding is, like, there's already a guilt that just comes with it of asking people to go to the other side, to go to another hemisphere.
Was there for you?
Like I was very hesitant. Megan was all in on Brazil. Let's do it in Rio.
Sure.
And it took some convincing because there was some guilt there. Like you're just asking a lot of people. But
you're asking, it's the plane ticket, right? The plane ticket is the biggest lift.
Yeah. The thing that pushed me over the edge is the amount of family I have in Brazil and how much easier it will be for them as opposed to getting visas and, jumping through all the hoops that they would have to jump through.
Not to debate the merits of your wedding planning, but I feel like that's the best possible way to get as many people who actually care about you to show up to this thing.
That's fair. A true test. Yes.
How badly do you like me? Or how much do you like me?
Yeah, this is tough. Tough from Dak. The amount of jokes about Dak getting too close to getting a ring have just been flying. Oh. I don't know if you've seen those. Like, man, just came so close to a ring and couldn't do it. That's brutal.
Go ahead.
So my New Year's resolution for 2026 was to eat more hot dogs. I felt like I didn't eat enough in 2025. Felt like I wanted to improve on that. I have fallen short of that goal, and I'll be better. I promise I'll be better. But this list came out. Dov Kleiman, the AI, probably not a real person, NFL Twitter account, put out
not real.
The price of a hot dog at every NFL stadium.
Oh, I did see this.
And if I was a Bills season ticket holder in another lifetime and had a New Year's resolution to eat more hot dogs, I'd go broke at Highmark Stadium because the Buffalo Bills made me say, oh no, in sports, with the price of one hot dog at Highmark Stadium being $11.25.
Outrageous.
Outrageous. The Atlanta Falcons, who have great prices at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, just across the board. It's
They've done
insane.
that since they opened the new one. Like, they've always gone, like, at cost.
$2.
Yeah.
$2 hot dogs. Now, the Titans are on the lower end here, $6.30. They are tied with the Saints. It's kind of bottom 10 in the lowest priced hot dogs. Raiders are egregious, not surprising, in Vegas, $10.26. L.A., $10, also not surprising. San Francisco, $9. Baltimore, Robert, is all the way down at $3.49.
Yeah, super cheap. I ate like 12 of them again. You can get Old Bay on them.
Because you go to an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink tailgate usually before you go to these Ravens games.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just drinking there. I don't have time to – when you can go to a tailgate and walk up to the bartender and go, yes, I would like 4 tequila soda doubles, please, and they just give it to you, you just kind of have to take those as they come.
V-Love points out that you can get $10. It costs $10 for a beer and a hot dog at Geodis Park tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. So the winner of this prize will be enjoying some high-class soccer and high-class deals at Geodis Park. Buffalo, who do you think you are?
My oh no in sports. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, but former Raven, former Falcon, Hayden Hurst announced his retirement yesterday, and I don't know why he didn't just wait a month. You literally do it on probably the newsiest day of the NFL cycle, and then at 7:30 say, by the way, guys, I'm not playing anymore. It's like getting married on Christmas. Like, yeah, I would love to be there, love to thank you for this, but also there's 155,000 deals, and I need to be with my family to have dinner. Hayden Hurst, that made me say, oh, no.
Dylan is in Hermitage. Remember to stay on hold for the opportunity to win those tickets. Go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, it's kind of a slash. Oh, no, but wow, that was awesome. I'm a Celtics fan. I don't know if you guys saw the alley-oop that Harding threw during the Cavs-Celtics game. It was at least 3/4 court, but it was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So my oh, no was the Celtics not being bad.
As a Celtics fan, okay. That's Harden in Cleveland is going to be an interesting move to see if that ends up making a difference for them in the East. Adam is in Nashville next.
Yeah, my oh no goes to the announcement of the UFC card for the White House, putting Justin Gaethje at the top as the match to see. The expectations were so high, I feel like UFC dropped the bomb on that. I'm not excited to see a lot of these guys fight. And I thought if you're going to make a spectacle of the White House and put it on the lawn, you've got to go huge. You've got to bring people out of retirement, really get people interested.
Yeah, I have not. I would defer to Robert on that. I'm not super familiar with UFC talent, but it's not an impressive card.
There are names. It's just not like
because I've heard of Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, and that's the main event, right? He's the interim. He's going against the champion. They have Alex Pereira. They have Nashville native Michael Chandler.
Yeah, but I mean Chandler. Like, with all due respect to Mike Chandler, isn't he's getting into his mid-40s now,
he's an older guy. They have Sean O'Malley. So I mean, they have some names, but like you would think this is UFC 250. This is UFC Freedom 250. Oh, very rarely do they have their own name. So like the card just it did not. They didn't have any of the wow. They really got this guy or wow. They got that guy. It's just kind of another card.
Justin the Scouser. Is that him? Or is that someone else?
No,
that's Patty.
Patty the Batty.
Preston is in Smyrna.
Yeah, my oh no's going to go to the Atlanta Hawks Foundation, thinking they were going to pull off a Magic City night, and Adam Silver wasn't going to shut it down. So, yeah, that's my oh no.
It's lame as hell. NBA's lame as hell for shutting down the strip club night for the Hawks.
I ordered one of those hoodies off eBay.
Did you?
$35.
That's all it was?
Yeah, it's probably a reprint. It's probably a fake.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, Magic City merch is...
Those hoodies sold out, they said, in, I think it was 3 minutes from the Hawks online website.
Lames. All right, one more. Dean in Nashville.
Buck Rising.
Yep.
Complaining about the branding reveal on Thursday night at the same week that we're having free agency.
Yes.
Fans excited about the new branding and the free agency and all the new players, and you're complaining about having to do it. I guess must be terrible to have a job we'd all kill for.
Yeah, I'll be there. I think it's a waste of time, but I'll be there. Thanks for the call.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I mean, do it April 1st. Like, it's the middle of free agency. Let people talk about your football team and then worried about what your football team's going to wear.
But then it's April Fool's Day.
That's true.
Isn't that
April
that's
1st would be a worse time.
That's when the Falcons are doing it, right?
The 12th, I thought.
The 12th?
I don't know. I don't keep up
Just
with
wait
all
a
that
week.
stuff.
Like, why is it all got to happen at once? Again, it's not for me. I get it. Not for me.
Dean's the winner.
Yeah, Dean's got to be the winner. A lot
Sure.
of great submissions.
Well done by Dean. I mean, I don't have a better one.
Nashville and Miami tomorrow.
Okay. Although I am, I don't know, the Magic City thing. The Magic City thing is dumb. I mean, I guess we're not doing the dumbest thing in sports. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, they shouldn't have had such a runway up to it. They should have just been like, oh, by the way, the next week's Magic City Day. Don't wait till Adam Silver.
Night before, sent out an email in the middle of the night. All right, so Dean gets the tickets. Enjoy Nashville SC tomorrow night against Inter Miami. Should be a fun match. Are you on the call for that?
No, we only do the MLS regular season games.
Oh, that's
this
right.
is a CONCACAF Champions Cup game. But high stakes, Nashville trying to get past Miami in the Messi era for the first time in a knockout round. Should be fun.
All right. One player the Titans should still be interested in. There are several that are out there. We'll talk about which ones we'd prioritize next.
We're coming up on lunchtime, which for you should mean we are coming up on Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Oh, it was so nice to be up in the press box at Geodis Park, coming in just another Nashville SC match day, getting ready to be on the radio call, and I'm greeted by Hattie B's Hot Chicken in the press box as the media meal, a beautiful sight to see, and I sat there. I enjoyed some medium chicken tenders, that pimento mac and cheese, the southern greens, and just to top it off with that fresh Hattie B's banana pudding. Perfect. And if you download the Hattie B's app today, you get a free dessert. You can get yourself some of that banana pudding just for downloading the app. Start to stack some rewards. Hattie B's very generous with the rewards when you order for pickup or delivery at any one of their Middle Tennessee locations through the app or online at HattieB.com. If you're going to be at Geodis Park tomorrow night for that Nashville SC Inter Miami match, you can enjoy Hattie B's Hot Chicken right there in the concourse. Download the Hattie B's app today and make your March hot with Hattie B's. 11:04. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Day one of the legal tampering period is in the books, and the Titans made some big moves, signing wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, the former Giant, who played for Brian Daboll in New York, on a 4-year deal worth $78 million, including $38 million in guaranteed money. Former Saints cornerback and Coffee County native Alontae Taylor signed a 3-year, $60 million deal, $42 million in guarantees. Defensive lineman John Franklin Myers, the former Bronco, signed a 3-year, $63 million deal with $42 million guaranteed, reuniting him with Robert Saleh, who he played for with the Jets. The Titans also brought in Mitch Trubisky as a backup quarterback on a 2-year deal, among other moves for cornerback and offensive line depth. Meanwhile, around the NFL, one of the splash moves later in the day on Monday, former Tampa Bay Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans on the move, headed to the West Coast to play for the San Francisco 49ers, signing a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million, only $16.5 guaranteed in year one. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Mike Borgonzi's here, and he's in effect. Want you to push it back, tampering by day, then at night, writing all the checks. Come on, Borg, let's go show the league that we know how to become number one in the tampering show. Now tamper. Tamper. Tamper good. Tamper. Tamper real good.
Welcome back to the show. Second hour is underway. Legal tampering, day 2. It's officially upon us. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. We're happy to have you. 615-737-1045 is the number. F&M Bank Chat also available to you if you would like to tamper real good on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. Best available remaining as we head into day 2 of legal tampering. Again, free agency does not officially begin. So, the biggest Titans free agent that is out there still, because there was not a Titans player yesterday that was a pending free agent that got a deal of note, right? Chig didn't get a contract yesterday.
No, Chig is out there. Jahad Ward is out there.
But would we say that Chig, of the players who were on expiring contracts, that Chig was the best Titans free agent, either to retain or for another team to acquire?
I think in terms of guys that will get the most from the Titans, or you know what I mean, former
On the
Titans
market.
hitting free agency that will get the most in free agency. Yeah, I'd say Chig, right? I mean, who even would be the next?
Oh, speaking of Titans legend just got a deal. Khalif Raymond, Tiny Khalif,
Where?
going from the Lions to Chicago. I think it's a 1-year deal.
The NFC North is so incestuous that way. Like,
Yeah.
Somebody in our division as a free agent. Let's go get him. I have to play that guy twice a year. Now you have to see me with your sloppy seconds. Ha ha.
Oh, Arden Key. Arden got a decent deal from Indy.
220 or 420.
I missed that.
Yeah, Arden got $10 million a year from Indianapolis.
All right. Speaking of staying in the division,
10 mil a year. Well,
AAV.
yeah. That's
11 guaranteed.
I'm going to start doing that to Cheyenne. Be like, oh baby, I want to get this new card. It's like $5,000. $5,000. It's only 1,000 AAV over 5 years.
You're going to take out a payment plan for your Pokemon card habit?
Hey, I wanted to get this sauna. It's only over a 3-year deal. It's only $700 AAV.
You ever seen that SNL sketch where Beck Bennett is like buying his wife a truck on Toyotathon in one of those Christmas commercials? Like, it was only $1,000 ARP. ARP? Did you think this car was only $1,000? So Arden Key continuing his tour of the AFC South.
Jags,
3
Titans,
down,
yeah.
1 to go.
I mean, if he ended up in Houston, would anybody be surprised at the end of his career for what they're doing as far as
They love those depth edge rushers.
platooning pass rushers? So Khalif Raymond to the Bears after being in Detroit for the last couple of years. Been a really solid returner and wide receiver option for them. That takes one available free agent off the board, but the top let's say, top 5 players, would you put Chigakonko in the top 5 players available to sign?
Across the league?
Across the league.
Oh, man.
Not even close. I probably wouldn't put him in the top 20.
Okay, so Trey Hendrickson is probably
number 1.
I would put him number 1.
Sans the quarterbacks, like depending if you're talking about value.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the quarterbacks really until tomorrow, because the quarterback transactions cannot be made official. The releases cannot be made official until tomorrow. Malik Willis was a free agent proper. These guys will be free agents at 3 p.m.
Tyreek Hill, in terms of...
Although I guess Tua went to Atlanta.
1-year deal, reportedly.
Vet minimum.
They'll double up the lefty quarterbacks in Atlanta. Tyreek Hill, in terms of AAV from last year, has the highest previous AAV of the available guys. He's still out there, 32 years old.
Is he even going to play next year?
He's making it sound like he's going to play.
I mean, I'm all set on any Tyreek Hill conversation.
Juwan Taylor, former Chiefs right tackle, is out there. Marshawn Lattimore, the former Washington corner.
The fall off has been precipitous, though, from what he was in New Orleans. Even when Washington, because didn't Washington give up like a 3rd round pick at the trade deadline for him the year that they were good? And he did not pan out that way. So Trey Hendrickson, Reek Woolen, Rasheed Walker is an offensive tackle. You got Romeo Dobbs.
What about Jawan Jennings?
Jawan Jennings is also available. Calvin Austin, if you're talking wide receivers, is available. Bradley Chubb has not yet gotten a deal. Christian Kirk.
How long can we say names?
I mean, I'm just there's
all day.
A lot
Titans
of names.
Titans radio. Titans legend Danico Autry still out there floating around.
Hassan Reddick, David Njoku.
Okay. So
Leonard Floyd, AJ Epinesa.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, just keep naming names.
Is it Elgton Jenkins, the swing offensive lineman from Green Bay?
Is that what you think it is?
Elgton.
Yeah.
How else would I say?
The G is silent. It's just Elton.
It's Yankins.
It's just Elton. The G is silent.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Am I?
Jonah Williams.
Why don't you Google it and go to PFR and look at the pronunciation guide yourself?
Wyatt Teller. Joey Bosa's out there.
I don't trust you. Well, yeah, but what is Joey Bosa at this stage of his career?
Russell Wilson.
There's a lot of...
Is somebody going to sign Russ? He's 37.
Sure. Is Russ okay with being a backup? I mean,
He was last year.
I actually... I listened to the interview that Taylor and Will did with him at Super Bowl, and it made me kind of change my tune a little bit on Russ. I kind of enjoyed it. I know he's got the cornball stuff to him, but I don't know. You've always had respect for Russell Wilson as a player, but as a person, he's a little bit of a goof.
He's on that Joe Flacco trajectory.
No.
Like, nobody really liked him.
Flacco just didn't talk. Flacco didn't say anything for the first 15 years of his career. All of a sudden, now he's dad sitting alone at the bar eating dinner and talking about how lonely it is and how he wants to go up and approach people at a bar just because he doesn't like seeing people sitting by themselves and eating. So now all of a sudden, Joe Flacco, media darling.
But for the Titans, who are the names at the top, just in terms of best players available? Trey Hendrickson. Would we say Jawan Jennings up there?
I'd put him up
in
there.
terms of something the Titans could use, something the Titans need. What about Bobby Okereke?
Okereke.
That's what I said. You don't listen to the show. Yetur Gross-Matos.
The K is silent. That guy never really panned out. I remember covering him extensively at the Combine a couple of years ago where he might have been a first-round pick for the Titans when they, again, still had desperate need at edge. He was a serviceable... Where did he end up getting drafted? Carolina. But then he ended up in San Francisco as one of those reclamation edge guys.
Has that familiarity.
That they've tried to make work. Again, I have no issues with adding depth at wide receiver and on the edge, and on the offensive line.
0 sacks last year in 8 games.
Yeah, he was dealing with a hamstring injury in the middle of the year, kind of got his snaps ramped back up at the end. But as Buck said, it would be a depth signing with him, but I think it would also give you someone you can put on the edge on, as we talked about, on early downs to play against the run. He's 6'5", 265, so got a little bit of bulk. but as Lucas noted, only 8, but averages about 3 to 3.5 sacks a year. So, I mean, having a guy like that as a backup, you could do a whole lot worse, plus the familiarity with Saleh.
And they just need depth. I mean, they need all of it, right? They need top-end talent, and they need depth on the edge. Their current edge group is not sufficient. Of the players that we're talking about, who is still available that you would like to see the Titans pursue? Just looking at this list.
So you ain't got one?
Well, I do, but I can't decide whether I want to go with this or not because I really like the idea of Kevin Byard coming back here. But I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, let's talk through it. What are the pros of Kevin Byard coming back?
The pros are he is immediately the kind of locker room leader that they have lost in the last couple of years when they tried to trade him and when they did trade him. Eventually, like there has been just a void. Now, I think Jeffrey has done a really good job in the last year taking that on, and Cam, how they bring along the young guys and all these different things. So maybe it's not as big of a void as it has been the last 3 years prior. But I think KB is still a serviceable player. I think if you feel good enough about the secondary around him to support him in that, he very much knows Amani Hooker. I don't know what that looks like from a defensive schematic standpoint, if that even makes sense for somebody like Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley. But I do like the idea of a safety need, somebody to mentor Kevin Winston and give you the kind of presence that you have lacked for years and years and years. It would be both feel-good and football application-wise, I think, a plus.
I'm going higher end in terms of what they're going to be making in free agency. KB, the spot track market value is about $7 million AAV. Between Juwan Jennings and Romeo Doubs, who are the two best receivers left on the market, the tiebreaker for me is going to be the familiarity path that the Titans have pursued, which would be Juwan Jennings. I don't know anything about Robert Saleh's relationship with Juwan Jennings, but they would have only been together for the 1 year. Juwan was not in San Francisco.
The first stint.
His rookie year was 2021, which was Saleh's first year with the New York Jets. But in terms of having a reliable possession receiver, you talk about a guy that can set the tone in the wide receiver room, a blocker, physical player in Juwan Jennings.
I just don't think you spend that money if you've already spent the money on Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah.
That's my logic, because otherwise I would have said Jennings.
And I feel like they'd complement each other, right? Like one brings a lot that the other doesn't necessarily between Juwan and Wan'Dale Robinson.
I think you'd have to cut Ridley if you're talking about that.
Which I'm right.
Okay with.
Who's more reliable to you?
Oh, Jennings.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But you're taking on...
And even when he's healthy, Jennings. Even when Calvin's healthy, Jennings.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's... I don't know. I like Calvin Ridley as a human being. I would like to see him do well. It's just, it's gone about as sideways as you could have ever thought it was going to go. Not quite Snead or anything like that, but at what point do you stop actually counting on Calvin?
No, I think you're right. I mean, you probably have to cut ties with
There
Ridley.
has to be a corresponding transaction,
yes.
But I'm just saying sight unseen. Given the money that they've already put out, they added 9 players, right? So at this point, I don't know just how much. There's going to be fringe guys at the bottom of the roster churn that you see. I think Kevin Byard is somewhere in between that, where he's clearly past the peak of his powers, but he's still a good player at a position of need that knows this place and I think would make an immediate impact on the people here, even if they don't know him the way that we know him.
Man, they need another edge. Would Trey Hendrickson just be pushing it? I mean, they've made some splash moves.
I don't care if it's too splashy. Go get him.
Okay, but maybe you don't get Trey Hendrickson. Maybe
Sure.
you have to go deeper into the bargain bin. A guy that I would like them to target. He's not going to be a high upside guy that's going to get you 5 sacks a year, but Michael Dana in Kansas City.
Former Chief?
Yeah, former Chief. He's played there his entire career, basically.
Aren't there 2 of them? Is Leo Chenal also a Chief?
Leo
Or
Chenal
a former Chief?
is also a Chief. But in Dana's case, he came from a hybrid 4-3 system, so I think he would fit with the 4-3. Not really a pass rusher, doesn't give you much in the way of pass rush juice and hasn't since 2023 when he had 6.5 sacks. But a run defender, a technical player, touted for his motor. I think the more guys that you can get like that to play on a line with Jeffrey Simmons and have a bunch of high motor, vicious guys, I think that makes a lot of sense. You win on early downs and then let Jeff and whoever, Jermaine Johnson and all these other guys tee off on third down. I think that's a recipe for success.
But to that point, then why not just bring back Sebastian Joseph Day?
A little bit different position between these two, but Sebastian Joseph Day would definitely be on the interior.
I just mean depth.
Sure.
Front seven depth.
Yeah, and you absolutely could. I mean, last year he was on a modest deal. I don't know what.
Yeah, it was like 1 year 5 or something like that.
He probably means more to the Titans than he would to anyone else in the league.
The chat is mentioning K'Lavon Chaisson after a 7.5 sack season in New England.
He's going to want real money.
What do you think his spot track market valuation is?
They're always lower, so 3 years.
No, just AAV. That's how they do it. I mean, they do the full deal, but just AAV.
I'll say 12.5.
Under 9. 8.9.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any way, right?
I mean, and for what it's worth, the spot track calculation for Alontae Taylor was 11 a year, which he got like double that.
The spot track valuation thing is fun.
It's a fun exercise.
It's not that accurate more often than not.
Derek Barnett says theoretically in the FNM Bank chat.
It's just say your friend Jay.
Would be another player coming home.
It's your friend Jay. We all know this.
You don't know that. It could be somebody else with that name.
Yeah, then there are numbers after it? There could be more than one theory.
There is not. It is just theoretically.
Well, that's the original. We don't know if that's Jay or not. We've never confirmed. Have you ever seen Theory Flea and Jay in the same room?
He literally responded to me when I said, hi, Jay, last week. He said, hi, Buck.
Sounds like he's playing a part.
Derek Barnett, 5 sacks as a rotational edge rusher for the Texans each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, when you've got both those other dudes coming off the edge, it's probably easy to get a couple freebies.
Play clean. He's only 29. Be 30 this summer.
Jay says, I could be anyone.
Even Jay.
He should add, even Jay.
Joseph.
So we're all in agreement, though. Trey Hendrickson.
That would be nice.
Yeah, do it.
I'm for it. 615-737-1045 is the number. Let's talk league-wide. Most interesting signings of day one. We have a few sprinkled in here on day 2. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. So other things happened in the league beyond just what the Titans did yesterday, adding 9 players. Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Most interesting signings, not the best, not the most expensive, not the ones your favorite team did, unless you genuinely feel that one of the most interesting signings in the NFL happened in Tennessee yesterday, or for Tennessee yesterday. Is there a single one that either any of the three of us would qualify yesterday for the Titans as being one of the most interesting transactions in the league? I don't think there is anything of great interest there other than bad team needs baseline better players, went out and got baseline better players at a number of positions of need.
Yeah, nothing market setting, right? The Linderbaum thing takes the cake there when you talk about impacting a respective market to go from, 18 AAV top of market at the center position to in the high 20s is dramatic. For me, it's the Mike Evans move, just in terms of the landing spot. When I saw that and I saw a 3-year deal, I said, what? But then you see 3-year deal up to 16 and a half guaranteed in the first year. So there's going to be a lot of flexibility there, but I'm just so skeptical. He's a Hall of Famer, truly. I mean, one of the great wide receivers of our lifetimes growing up watching the NFL, like the three of us in our age bracket. I'm so skeptical that Mike Evans is going to be consistently available in 2026 after 2 straight years of hamstring injuries plaguing him, among other things. And you're putting him next to the electrical substation?
That substation is like,
that hamstring's going to fall off the bone like a brisket, man.
Tendernism.
You stole that line from Brett Kern's text this morning.
That's not true. That's not true.
And you
that
can't prove
line directly.
The fall off the bone thing? I said the fall off the bone thing.
I have receipts.
I'm looking at the text.
Like Hattie B's hot chicken off the bone from Brett Kern.
I said
at
fall off the bone.
9:49 a.m.
I said fall off the bone, and he responded like Hattie B's hot chicken off the bone.
We miss you, Kern.
We collabed on it.
But to your point about Evans, did you guys see the breakdown of like what the cap hit actually is for him? It's like $14 million.
Yeah.
Like it's a deal.
It's a deal for them and for a player who wants to just actually win something or get closer to winning something rather than just winning his division every year and being a 1,000-yard receiver every year. And Mike Evans has a Super Bowl. So let's not act like Mike Evans, wasn't that a whole Cowherd bit? Cowherd forgot that Mike Evans never won a Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like this week he was talking about it?
I think within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was in the last couple months.
Yeah.
I'll give Cowherd grace.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we had to talk about all 32 teams, I mean, we do on Fox, but in 2 hours, it's not that deep.
He's also probably the best to ever do it, so he's allowed to have it.
Cowherd, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's one of the...
That little dude that they have next to him, though.
I mean, they've been trying to fill that, not to get, like, inside radio. They've been trying to find his number 2 for so long.
Well, they had it in Joy, but then,
Well, and then the Big Baller Brand interview kind of set her off. And didn't she have, like, a rich husband or something like that? Doesn't she do something with his business, or they own a business together?
Very famously does not have a husband.
Oh, I was unaware.
Yeah, that was a thing. Cristoforo,
we don't have to relitigate that.
F&M Bank Chat says Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs is his most interesting move. That is an interesting move.
It is an interesting move, right? Because it's a Super Bowl contending team or a team that wants to get back to Super Bowl contention, making a move at a position that you don't typically see. For me, Mike Evans is a fascinating one because, I mean, you couldn't pick a better coach to put him with, right? He's just a big red zone target. They're going to figure out how to get him the ball. I don't know that he's going to do a lot of the Juwan Jennings stuff, but, like, he feels like a decent way to supplement what you're losing in Juwan in some way, shape, or form.
The reason it was interesting to me was I saw 3 years, and then you see more context.
Okay. Mine is a throwaway, but one that I think could have legit implications. It's Tua. Tua is the backup on a vet minimum deal in Atlanta for Michael Penix. Who's a better quarterback right now, Tua or Penix?
I have no idea. I just don't know what Michael Penix is.
So then you would have to say Tua. Because at least you know, Tua is the devil that you know.
Did you see Mina Kimes' tweet on this?
I did not.
This made me laugh. Oh, I got to scroll down for it. She said, 1, let Penix throw deep outside the numbers. 2, ask Tua to throw shallow, intermediate, middle of the field. 3, profit.
You put them together, they're almost a great quarterback.
Platoon them. Let's go. I'm ready. Snap for snap.
When's the last time the NFL had a 2-quarterback system?
Oh,
Hey,
Mason Rudolph and Will Levis.
There you go. There you go.
Oakland High
The Titans
School.
lost a game, though. Who are the 2 quarterbacks? Davis Mills? Who was the other one for the
Jeff
Texans?
Driscoll. Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff
Yeah.
Driscoll and Davis Mills beat the Titans at home.
Oakland High School
God.
just did it all the way to the state championship. Going
It's different
literally
in high school.
every other, it's the exact same. Every other snap. Literally every snap.
What?
And it worked to perfection.
For a whole season?
Yes.
God, I feel like that slows the offense. How do they run hurry up? How do they run? They just don't.
They don't.
They just run Virginia
They simply
basketball
don't.
and high school football. Like, we're going to take every second of this clock.
Cam Morton and Dante Cameron were the 2 quarterbacks. Kevin Creasy, the play caller, obviously legendary head coach in the area, would literally send one out for the first snap while the other one's next to him. The plays, he's relaying the next play call to the quarterback that's next to him.
As they're changing.
And then they go and they literally do that. It keeps defenses off balance. I mean, they cruise. They went undefeated, won yet another state title. So there you go, Falcons. Call up Coach Creasy.
Tyler Dial, or that one coach in West Virginia that never punts, right? Isn't there in high school? Tyler Dial on YouTube says, I don't know what Penix is, but I know he's better than Tua. I mean, the Dolphins quarterbacks that they cast aside, going on to play for vet minimum elsewhere as backups for embattled former first-round picks. We've seen that story here. The question is this version of Tua so much worse than that version of Tannehill that there's zero possibility? I'm not saying that the Falcons are going to be in the NFC Championship game or anything like that, because what happened here in Tennessee was very unique and very special. And Tannehill probably wasn't as bad as Dolphins fans thought he was. The way that, I mean, Tua, there's just objectively no way around it. He's been bad. He's been bad, and he's been hurt. And the lack of coherence between him and his teammates and his locker room and his coaching staff is just a bizarre situation. So Tannehill didn't have any of this extra baggage that Tua did, nor did he have that contract.
Yeah, when did Tua get that deal?
Last year.
Was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was just last year.
24. It was summer of 2024. So he was coming off a career year, that 4,600-yard passing season, 29 touchdowns. He was coming off the best year of his career.
70 points on the Broncos.
Yeah. The Mike McDaniel offense kind of took off in that first year. So Kyler Murray, similar situation, right? Like, does this lead to any adjustment at all across the NFL in any sort of added hesitancy to give that giant second contract to a quarterback that you're not totally sure on?
Are you talking about Kyler? Or you mean in principle?
Yeah.
Like the upcoming guys, like Bryce Young. Are you willing to go give him a...
Houston.
Exactly.
Houston.
CJ Stroud. Exactly. Like Tua and Kyler are examples of it not working out, and you have to eat a ton of money to move on from them.
How many years did it take Trevor Lawrence?
I was going to say, Trevor Lawrence, an example of, weren't totally positive when it happened, but things are looking pretty good after 2025. He had his best season of his career. But Stroud and Young absolutely feel like the next guys in that chain of like, all right, is he worth the $50 million a year?
And I've talked about this before, or we've talked about this before. The idea that I think, if you were doing these situations in a vacuum, which of course you cannot, probably 80% of the quarterbacks in the NFL you can win with if they get dropped into the right situation. You would agree or disagree with
You
that?
can win games with, yes. Like you can have winning seasons and go to the playoffs with. Yeah.
So you can get winning quarterback play from about 80% of guys in the league. It just depends on where they are and what's around them and is their coaching staff. Like there's a million different variables
Bryce
to
Young
consider.
and CJ Stroud both were in the playoffs.
Sure. This is we're and there's some holes that you can poke in Bryce Young's. CJ Stroud was a revelation his rookie year, and then the way that things have gone sideways after the fact because he just looks like a battered individual back there. It's tough to kind of wrap your head around that. Each individual situation is different from the next. So I don't think that you can, if you are a team, let's just say they get into a circumstance with Cam, and we have no idea what's going to happen with Cam. But if Cam Ward plays well in his second year, but in his third year, he gives you reason to question it. Like some of the Stroud stuff starts. Whatever could happen that would make you question, okay, is this, or his health goes the way that Mariota's does, where you're just like, I don't know, this is a different player than the player I drafted when he was healthy and starting 17 games and all these different things. So let's say the Titans get into a situation like that with Cam. I don't think that you can dwell too much on, well, what did the Texans do with CJ? Well, what did the Panthers do with Bryce Young? Because I think each individual situation is so disparate from another that there are some guiding principles there, but I don't think that can be a huge determining factor in your own individual situation. You know the player, you know the health, you know the skill set, you know what your roster is more than anybody else. So why try to apply the Texan sensibilities to what you do in that Cam Ward hypothetical? I just think that's a tough thing to do if I was running an NFL team.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about Cam Ward. Like, we don't have enough of a sample size.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying in a couple of years, a team with a first-round pick at quarterback and something goes sideways, right? Where it's not perfect ascension, it's not, it's not linear progression year over year over year. Like there is some reason at some point in a promising young rookie. You could make it Caleb Williams. You could make it any of them. If they get to that point where they start to have questions, do you look at another situation and say, well, this is what Houston did. Maybe this is how we should approach it? I don't think so.
Man, Penix is the starter in Atlanta, right?
He's not going to be able to start the season, is he?
That's what their worry is.
Yeah. That's why you do the Tua thing, because Tua can start. So is Penix good enough to win the job back from Tua after the fact? Is Tua bad enough to lose that job if he starts the season? Probably. But you're kind of hedging your bets against both of them.
Man, what a carousel in Atlanta.
Really quickly before we get out of here, my most interesting free agent. How'd you guys feel about the Saints just Yoshiing up Travis Etienne, just bleed him really quickly, just snagging him off the market?
Interesting. What does that mean for Alvin?
Oh, Alvin!
What does it mean?
Be out, right? They're going to keep Kamara?
Be a little redundant, you would think.
They have the most, I hope Theory of Flea is still in the chat. They have the most weird roster in the NFL.
I feel like I've said that about the Saints every year for the past 6 years.
Like, they signed Noah Fant, and it's like Taysom Hill is still there. Isn't Jawan Johnson still there? Like, just an awkward, weird.
Taysom Hill.
Like, just if you got to meet the players in those rooms, just, anyway, they just lit up ETN up.
He'll be 31 this year, Kamara.
Yeah, I would think that.
He signed a 2-year deal not that long ago, but he is under contract.
Jay, who is a Saints fan, says, we have so much cap space, kind of, now.
Let's dig that hole again, baby.
He said Taysom Hill is a free agent. What did Kamara do last year? He was hurt.
He was hurt.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, can I get you guys to make that Yoshi noise?
Bloop.
No, not bloop. It's just bleedum.
How are you doing it?
Bleedum.
Bleedum. Exactly. Bleedum.
Kamara played 11 games at 471 yards.
I don't want to know what he's going to do with those sound effects after the fact. All right, so running backs, speaking of running back deals that got done yesterday, how does that impact the idea of Jeremiah Love to the Titans, given the number of signings that we saw at that position yesterday from the teams that made those deals? I'm Buck Rising, it's 104.5 The Zone.
Tampa time.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. So running backs. Running backs were a popular line item yesterday. Edge guys, handful of edge guys got big money deals. The biggest deal, or maybe not the biggest deal, but one of the more jaw-dropping deals was for center Tyler Linderbaum, who got a short-term deal with huge cash value. 27 a year, blew the pre-existing center market out of the water. Ben Jones is somewhere cursing, I'm sure, though Ben did pretty well for himself in his career. He goes to Vegas for 27 a year for 3 years. The running backs, though, looking at what teams signed backs yesterday. So the Saints, we brought up Travis Etienne, the former Jag. 4-year, 52. We're just going with the larger numbers right now. We understand that those aren't actually the numbers that they boil down to. Rico Dowdle from Carolina to Pittsburgh, 2 years, 12.5, which feels like a steal to an extent.
Yeah, he's coming off 2,000-yard rushing seasons.
Cardinals signed Tyler Algier, the former Falcons running back. And those were the bulk of the running back deals that were done yesterday. You have James Conner restructuring his deal to stay in Arizona, leading up to legal tampering. You also had Javonte Williams agreeing with the Dallas Cowboys early in the process on a deal that looks pretty cost-effective when you see the rest of the money that's come out. So, Cowboys, let's just look at the NFL draft order right now and talk about how that might affect the Titans at 4 and the idea of Jeremiah Love. So, Raiders obviously are in a situation where they're taking the quarterback. Breece Hall is staying in New York. He got franchise tag. Did you see Breece Hall tweeting through it yesterday? Either of you?
Poor guy.
The Jets were signing contracts all over the place and goes, oh, somebody in Florham Park's got money. Florham Park, New Jersey is where the Jets facility is.
Yeah.
And he said he then quote tweeted his own tweet and said, I definitely be pocket watching during free agency.
I mean,
I don't blame him.
He's like, please, God, give me some money.
If you're going to keep me here, at least compensate me.
What's the franchise tag for a running back?
14 and some change.
Pretty solid. I mean, it's 1 year. I get you on a long-term deal, but it's pretty top of market.
Did you see the other New York superstar tweeting through it yesterday after the Cordero
Sauce?
No.
Well, I guess he's not a New York superstar anymore.
Neighbors.
No, I didn't see Malik Neighbors.
They signing all my partners when the signing of Flock came out. So if I understand the situation you're in, Neighbors. I think it would make you feel a lot better if you just came down here with all your partners. You come down here, hang out with Flott,
To Tennessee?
Yeah, trade him to the Titans, He's missing his partners.
Down.
You're not interested. Would you?
I think Malik Neighbors is so good.
Dude,
speaking of his former LSU teammate, Brian Thomas Jr., there's some trade rumors around.
Yeah, not down.
Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But the Jets and Giants are very interested in Brian Thomas Jr.
I can't think of anywhere to send a receiver that's dealing with some things than New York.
Yeah. Jackson listening to offers for him. That's from Zach Rosenblatt.
Okay, so top of the draft order, Raiders, Jets, Cardinals, Titans, Giants, Browns, Commanders, Saints, Chiefs, Bengals. That's the top 10. So Kansas City got their running back yesterday, Kenneth Walker. So that takes them out of the Jeremiah Love sweepstakes. New Orleans, I don't know if they would have considered Jeremiah Love where they were sitting at 8, but they have Alvin Kamara. Now they also have Etienne.
And a ton of needs. So, yeah, take them out.
What are the Browns going to do?
Draft Ty Simpson.
Yeah, are they, though?
No, I say that tongue-in-cheek.
No, I know. I know what you're doing.
It would be awesome.
I think Ty Simpson's going to be drafted 3rd.
I mean,
no.
Just not going to be shocked. I'm not predicting it.
No.
I'm just saying.
No. You're like Matthew Berry.
I'm not shocked.
I'm not reporting, but rumors are Jeremiah Love, the Titans think he's the best player in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that happened yesterday to deter you from thinking Jeremiah Love is a very real possibility, right, for the Titans at 4.
No. Nothing that happened yesterday. If anything, it reinforces the idea that they could do it. Now, could they do something that none of us are talking about? Sure. That would be interesting. If Jeremiah Love was there and they opted to go for David Bailey, it would be the thing that we thought they were going to do at the offset. And it seems like a lot of us post-combine have talked ourselves into the idea of Jeremiah Love. I'm good with just about anything at 4th overall, except for the Auburn pass rusher. That I'm not good with.
Yeah, Falk.
I'm all good on that. But nothing happened yesterday that would change the conversation in a meaningful way if the Titans actually wanted to take Jeremiah Love with the 4th overall pick. And I think as you look at Bellinger, who's a more willing blocker and a more able blocker, while also being, I wouldn't quite call him a plus as a receiver, but he's a solid receiver. He's reliable. Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot, so an additional weapon. Their offensive line did not get the kind of TLC in free agency, anyway, that it needs to succeed. But I think for the purposes of the Titans, I mean, you're not going to take a center at 4th overall. So if you had to work backwards in this particular way, if you took Jeremiah Love, what's the Iowa center's name?
Logan Jones, I
Okay.
believe.
If you ended up with Jeremiah Love and Logan Jones as your first couple of draft picks, I feel like you would be over the moon.
Easy there, buddy.
Oh, what, you want him?
Yeah, I think we lost an Iowa center. We're going to gain an Iowa center. You just worry about maybe Connor Liu or someone.
Why are you talking to me like this is...
Man, don't start this hive. Don't start people clamoring and talking
I'm
about
just
it.
saying, if I was a Titans fan, I would be excited about the idea to get the running back in the center 1-2.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great, as long as it's not Logan Jones.
The running back sweepstakes, I would say, probably mostly over in terms of, high-impact guys.
Who else is out there at this point?
Joe Mixon is available.
No.
I think teams will probably want to stay away from that, whatever that was last year.
Nobody gave any detail on that.
Very weird, yeah. Najee Harris, 28 years old, is a free agent. Austin Eckler is still kicking.
Now we've got you want to talk about a hive, Logan Jones at 4, Robert. See what you've done to the chat. Logan Jones at 4.
Jeremy McWeapon is out there.
Logan Jones at 4. There you go. Devon Hughes, you got it. Take him at 4. That would make me feel much better about it.
Man, A.J. Dillon and Alexander Madison, just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
both of them
back,
still
that
27. But yeah, that's about right.
Often.
Yeah, that's about a 5-year stretch of them being, feasible options.
And they were never their primary guys.
Yeah.
So
Brian Robinson out there.
All right. Let's swing back around to best available free agents and continue to talk about where the Titans can plug some holes moving forward. The thing that would best set them up to go best available player in the draft based on what's left. I'm Buck Rising, 1045 The Zone.
It is 12:02. Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Day one of legal tampering is in the books in the NFL. The Titans made some splash moves yesterday, signing former Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson. That was a 4-year deal worth $78 million, including $38 million in guaranteed money. Former Saints corner and Middle Tennessee native Alontae Taylor signed a 3-year, $60 million deal, $42 million of it in guarantees, and defensive lineman John Franklin Myers, 3-year, $63 million with $42 million guaranteed for the former Bronco, who reunites with Robert Saleh, who he played for with the New York Jets. The Titans also brought in Mitch Trubisky as a backup quarterback on a 2-year deal, among other moves for cornerback and offensive line depth. A quiet day 2 of the legal tampering period so far in the NFL. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
So we are through the first day of legal tampering. We've had a few deals sprinkled throughout the course of the morning. We'll see what else the Titans do. And Bert and I will be back on primetime tonight, an unscheduled Tuesday live stream, should the Titans do anything of consequence. And even then, we will be there to react to you, because I know most of you, or if you are a season ticket member, I'm not sure how many tickets they made available for this event at the Pinnacle that they're doing for the jersey release. But they sent out the season ticket member email inviting people, and I think they put a cap on it like they do training camp, and then media were also invited to attend. So with that, on Thursday night, Bert and I will do primetime tonight. We'll see what happens. Winners and losers are tough to determine when it comes to free agency, because we have no idea how these things are going to work. I think many people would have looked at the Titans signings in 2024 and said, how could it possibly go wrong? And then literally every one of those deals blew up in their face. Is there a single deal that they signed in 24 that ended up turning out well? Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was a 24 deal.
Yeah. He was a part of that. He was the first deal signed, or first deal reported, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because Calvin Ridley, no. I mean, the Snead thing was a trade, but no.
Still no.
I think they
Kenneth
got
Murray, no. Lloyd Cushenberry, no.
Yeah. Sebastian Joseph Day.
Stop. Tampa time. The Lions signing running back Isaiah Pacheco. That's a great fit.
That's very much a Dan Campbell player.
Trade David Montgomery to the Texans. Need a bashing running back to back up Gibbs. I love that move. It's probably a 1-year deal. We don't have money or years on it yet.
Is he the new Knuckles? I feel like he's not big enough to be Knuckles.
People don't know what you're talking about.
Who are more Sonic characters?
Sonic and Knuckles. Jameer
Tails.
Gibbs.
Why isn't Tails his sidekick? Why isn't it Sonic and Tails? Isn't that the fox? Am I misremembering Sonic?
No, I think you're
You're
correct.
both looking at me like you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, her name is Tails.
Oh, it's a her.
Yeah, it's a she.
Okay.
I think it says love interest. Sonic is one of the...
What?
Yeah, here, hold on. Sonic and Tails, a couple? Question mark. Let's see what Google
Concerning.
says. Canonically, Sonic and Tails are not a romantic couple. They are best friends, inseparable companions, and share a deep brother-like bond. Okay, I was wrong.
Okay, either way.
So, yes, he could be Tails.
So Bill Barnwell.
Yes, Bill Barnwell does winners and losers pieces on ESPN. He does a variety of different analytical studies, projections, and things of that nature. Winners and losers to start free agency, and I'm sure this will be updated as we work along. Are you looking at the piece?
Yeah.
So you've seen who his winners are. He has Tua as a winner, Jalen Phillips as a winner, and that's when he starts to dive into the teams that both the teams and the players that lost out here. So he has the Titans, and Titans fans will be unsurprised by this. He has the Titans as a loser in the first day of free agency. The Titans and the Browns. So here is a summary. Perhaps it's unfair to lump two of the worst teams in the AFC together. They both got better on Monday, in part because it would have been hard for them to get much worse, which on principle we all agree with, right? They didn't technically get worse year over year, but the way that they started 2025, they looked like a worse football team than they did in 2024, which is crazy.
Yes, during the 5-6 week stretch before Callahan was fired, they looked somehow worse.
Yeah, it's one of the things that was as mind-boggling as anything around this football team the last couple of years is how the hell could you get any worse? And they were.
And then they improved on the backstretch.
I mean, the final month, 2/3 of the season, they were ass, as the quarterback appropriately called it.
It takes Barnwell quite a while to get to the point here, I will say.
So, he says the Titans came into this offseason with more money to spend than any other team, which I don't think is technically accurate because the Raiders, in most of and again, salary cap websites, you don't know how actually accurate they are, but the Raiders on both Spot Track and Over the Cap yesterday had more available cap space than did the Tennessee Titans, for what it's worth. Either way, second most cap space.
I think you got to skip, past all of the sort of precursors he lays out. He jumps to, and he's still kind of stalling here. I don't mind their moves on defense.
Right. Here's where it goes. Adding one or two players the coaching staff already knew made sense. Adding 5 seems like a little much. In addition to Cordell Flott and John Franklin Myers, the Titans made more curious moves on offense by riding the Giants, or ridding. Is that what he means to ride?
No, he says riding the Giants for tight end Daniel Bellinger.
I think he means to say ridding there. I think he's missing a D.
But the for wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't say ridding the Giants for. You would just say ridding the Giants of. And you wouldn't have to rid the Giants of him. He was a free agent.
Anyway.
Oh, Captain, my captain. This English
I don't know what happened there. Some editor missed a word. It's a long piece. I forgive them.
I before E except after C.
The Titans made more curious moves on offense, but maybe he means signing.
No, like riding the Giants. Like they're basically riding the Giants train. They've got Bellinger, former Giant. They've got Robinson.
Yes, but when you look between the lines, what does he really mean by that? I think it's
he means that he hates these players.
Living between the nominal states of living and dying. You know, and you really, it's kind of akin to Robert Frost, like in his naturalism period.
The road less
riding the Giants for tight end Daniel Bellinger, 3 years, 24, and wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 years, 78. Offensive coordinator Brian Dable added another player from his past in Bill's backup Mitch Trubisky, who comes in on a 2-year pact behind Cam Ward. These offensive additions, all right, do we agree or disagree with this statement? These offensive additions don't move the needle in the right way. Bellinger, Robinson, technically Trubisky. Do they move the needle in the right way for the Tennessee Titans team in 2026?
When we say move the needle, do we mean like...
Do they make a difference?
Are they game changers?
Do they make an appreciable difference versus what was there before they were? Is Daniel Bellinger a significantly different player than Chigakonkwo? Is Wan'Dale Robinson a significantly different player than technically Chimere Dike, who will obviously still be on this roster, but Wan'Dale Robinson is very specifically slot, and I think they're going to have to find some different things to do with Chim. Maybe they envision Chim's role differently than what it was in the previous offense. Could also be. And then the backup quarterback, whatever. So those two, Bellinger and Robinson, do they make an appreciable difference for the Titans as soon as they hit the field?
I think Robinson can. Bellinger feels like he's going to come in and just play a role.
And that's fine. He's a tight end too.
Yeah, but, I think some people looked at that money, 3 years, $24 million.
So the case against Bellinger, as it's being written here, and this is something that Robert pointed out and agreed with, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, he's failed to top 300 receiving yards in a season as a pro. He isn't a threat in the red zone. He isn't the same caliber of blocker in the run game as players like Charlie Kohler or I've never even heard of Charlie Werner. Who the hell is that?
I believe he's on the Jaguars now, but had been a Jaguars player, a Carolina Panthers player.
Former Georgia tight end.
Yeah, just a really good blocker, one of the better blocking tight ends in the league.
So his case against Bellinger is you could have had these players that do what you're looking for better. Because Charlie Kolar didn't get a deal yet, right?
He did. He signed with the Chargers yesterday.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
3-year, $24.
Oh, same. Exact same.
So could you have gotten Charlie Kolar? Now, maybe Charlie Kolar wants to play in L.A. more than he wants to play in Tennessee. We don't know that.
And also the other part of it is maybe Gunnar Helm is your Charlie Kolar. I mean, he's going to be your inline tight end anyway. I kind of look at this as Bellinger is going to replace Chig as being your big slot, as your guy that's out of the formation.
The Giants had a 39.8% success rate on designed runs with Bellinger on the field over the past 4 years and a 40.8% mark when he was on the sideline. So basically, Barnwell is indicating that he's a better run. They were a better run blocking team without him than with him. But when you take into account, Chig was literally the worst blocker among qualified tight ends last year. You're ignoring the Chig component of this. Maybe they weren't going to be able to get Charlie Kolar, so they went with a guy that I'm not saying that this is right or this is wrong. I don't have enough information to be able to tell you whether they did good or they did bad. I know that they went in, found solid baseline players to incrementally improve their roster, which is what we expected them to do. They just did it with 9 of them, which is probably more than most of us were talking about yesterday, at least in one fell swoop, because they did a lot yesterday.
I mean, his argument against Robinson is basically that he's redundant.
Well, that's also the argument of Matt Harmon. Can you get that Matt Harmon clip from the Combine? Because we asked him about Chim and Wan'Dale Robinson. Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, he says one of the few things the Titans already had in their receiving room was a gadget receiver in Chimere Dike. They're making a $19.5 million per year bet that Robinson is a more complete wide receiver than he has led on for the vast majority of his pro career. It just seems like they would have been better off using that money on more impactful or difficult to find player archetypes.
But who is that? Who is available? A more impactful or difficult to find player archetype that was available to them.
Maybe a Dobbs or a Jennings that are still out there. I don't know. But the familiarity here with Dable clearly stood out. And it will be interesting to see how they utilize DK and Robinson in the same offense. Because that is the next step for DK, right? To be a more consistent presence in the Titans offense and an option for Cam Ward. He already has established himself as, last year, being one of the best return men in the NFL. Can he be that for years on years? Can he stack those seasons in that regard? But that's the next step for DK. What is the argument against Robinson and DK could be redundant, having those two guys that could be utilized in the same way in the same offense? How do you most take advantage of that if you're Brian Dable?
615-737-1045. Robert will get that Matt Harmon clip for us on the other side so you can hear his analysis, because he echoes that sentiment prior. This was at the Combine, so this was a couple of weeks ago. But he echoes a similar sentiment. And the question for you guys as an audience, oh, my God. I see one comment in the chat that says, why are they downplaying Restrepo? I don't. Don't make me do that again this year.
Wait. Before you get out of here, I have some video game duo names I want to throw at you for Jahmyr Gibbs and Isaiah Pacheco, because they can't be Sonic and Knuckles anymore. And also, I want to get on my soapbox that Diddy Kong has been robbed of his freedom because of the heinous crimes of Diddy. So now no longer can anyone say Diddy or Diddy Kong and not have a negative connotation to it, because I think Donkey and Diddy would be a great name for them. You have Isaiah Pacheco, who's more of a bruiser, Gibbs, who's more of your Diddy Kong. You know, he's got his jetpack and his 2 peanut guns. But alas, no one will be able to use Diddy Kong because of the negative connotation.
Okay, where are we on things like this? Because is the word or name Diddy forever removed from the lexicon because of Diddy? Is it kind of like R. Kelly's music, where, you know, you might have some mixed feelings about listening to R. Kelly, and except some of R. Kelly's stuff still hits.
Yeah, I'm not using Diddy. Ratchet and Clank. Do you guys play the Ratchet and Clank games?
No.
One's a little robot. One's like a cat-like creature called a Lombax. I'm not going to delve into the nerdy parts of it.
No, I think you should. I think that'd be fun.
Well, he has to save the planet. Captain Quirk.
Oh, somebody in the chat already beat you to it. Banjo-Kazooie.
They didn't beat me to it. None of them have done the work. I'm in here. I'm the man in the arena. I'm the guy stomping the pavement. They don't get to steal anything from me. None of them have a microphone.
They just did it. I have the microphone.
They can all look up. They can all look up. Oh, video game duos, the same way I did to have it in front of them, but none of them are going to be able to present it in the way that I am. So Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo is a large bear, and Kazooie is a bird that lives in his backpack that poops and spits eggs out as projectiles.
Oh.
Yeah, I like Banjo and Kazooie. If you've never got to play them, one of the scariest games you can play as a kid because this evil witch takes your girlfriend, and there's no real voices in the game. It's all just like
it's one of those.
Every time the witch talks, it's awful. I'll get. I think her name's like Grunhilde or something.
Jay on YouTube says Lucas doesn't play video games, Bert.
I know, famously, he's too busy watching Sex and the City reruns.
Did you finish it yet?
No, Charlotte just quit her job at the art gallery, and Miranda is not happy about it.
All right, we'll talk about whether the Titans screwed up giving Wan'Dale Robinson that money with Jim Ray DK on the roster coming up next. That is awful. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. I always enjoy out-of-context text messages, and I just got one from Mike Giardi. Covers the Patriots for the Boston Sports Journal. Just unprompted. Well, it's not a fine.
Yes, Mike Giardi.
Giardi, when he was on NFL Network, was a fine. Giardi working for some online publication in Boston is not a fine.
He covers the Patriots extensively and exclusively.
That's not how I sound.
His contract is up for debate, but you cannot debate his merit. As far as an insider, he took time out of his day to text me, and this is what he said.
The text reads, your team might not be asked this season. High praise. High praise from one. It's a banger.
Doesn't that make you feel good?
Every time.
Somebody else thinks that you might not be asked?
Well, it's not me, it's them.
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
Sure. I would also like for them to not be horrendous to watch on a regular basis. So I hope for Titans fans that they get what they want to a certain extent, because the football has been terrible, and if it can be, even passable at this point, you take it. Like, wouldn't 7-10 feel like the chorus to Smooth Operator if they went 7-10? I mean, I don't think there's any way they win more than 5 or 6.
When in Pulp Fiction, when they open the briefcase up and they never show you what's in the briefcase, but that light hits their eyes.
Yeah.
That's a 7-10 season. It's like, oh, what was actually in that briefcase? What did he actually want to get back? You know, that Band-Aid on the back of his head is because he's the devil? It would be a Titans 7-10 season.
It's been since 2022 that they won 7 or more games. And even that did not.
Don't laugh.
That was not
Titanic
a fun
meme.
Don't laugh.
It's been 80.
Okay, because, you want to know why I'm like this? That's why I'm like this.
You're why you're like this. Don't
7
stop
straight
trying to
losses.
deflect.
7 straight losses is brutal. That's one of the dumbest seasons I've ever been a part of.
You acting like you're the only one that's been affected by the Titans not being good for the last few years.
The
is
only one
always
with 3
the
hours of
funniest
radio
thing.
about the Titans who's being personally affected
That's true.
by the
You
Titans.
are also the only one that has a radio show in Nashville that's had to cover the Titans, too. Yeah, that is also a true fact.
But complaining to his mom after another child's birthday, he is why I'm like this. Did you see all those presents? He's like Dursley.
That's absolutely
of
what my...
Harry Potter. He's like
Dudley.
Dudley, yeah,
Dudley.
you were Dudley 100%.
24 last
No, but
year.
I
There
have
was
a sibling.
25.
I didn't put Lily in a broom closet. I have a sibling. It's not only child syndrome.
No.
What's her middle name?
My God.
No need to ask. He's a Marina.
Oh, you don't know. What's Cheyenne's middle name?
Put it to a
Nicole.
poll. Yeah, come on. It's the woman he's marrying. Put it to a poll. Who hates their family more, Buck or Aaron Rodgers? So Matt Harmon of Yahoo Sports, the creator of Reception Perception, not a huge fan of the Wan'Dale Robinson move to the Titans. And he kind of prefaced this with you and Robert, or just you?
I think. Did you participate in that one?
Yeah, I was kind of sitting off in a chair watching pensively.
Okay, so you were cucking us.
So, do we have Matt Harmon from the NFL Scouting Combine well before the start of free agency talking about that potential move?
Let's hear it.
What are some of the trademarks of a Brian Dable offense when you watch the wide receiver deployment?
Yeah, they can definitely maximize a guy that you need to create touches for, get guys open in space. You think about what they did with Malik Neighbors. They moved him all around the formation and found basically every way under the sun to get him the football. So if you have one of those type of guys that is and same thing with Stephon Diggs in Buffalo, we're going to do everything to maximize a true number 1 elite top 10 type of receiver. You can do that, but you've also seen him be able to take guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, more role players, and unlock their game. So that's the exciting part about this for Tennessee, because again, I think some of the role players that they have there can be, used in a certain particular package of plays. You've already seen some proof of concept of that. Or if they do find their way to a true number 1 guy, which is always easier said than done, then I think you can look at that as well.
Well, okay, so he was advocating for don't pay Wan'Dale Robinson, just use Chim.
Basically, his argument is, and he said this on the Athletic Football Show yesterday, talking about the signing after it actually happened. Are you not just better off trying to find the next version of Wan'Dale Robinson with Chimere DK in-house? We've got Wan'Dale Robinson at home is basically what Matt Harmon is saying.
Brian Dable and his coaching staff clearly think otherwise. And Brian Dable also wasn't a part of the coaching staff that drafted Chimere DK. So let's take this a different direction. What if Chimere Dike starts?
Stop. Tampa time.
We have a new highest paid kicker in the league.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
How did you know? Those were the exact
I
words.
thought you were talking about Micah McFadden and his 1-year deal.
No, it's a new highest paid kicker. I'm Joseph. I know everything.
Oh, did Joseph crash in there to tell you that Kyrie Fairbairn got a new
it was
deal?
just the punter thing yesterday. I'm still sore over.
2-year, $13 million extension with Kyrie Fairbairn in Houston, making him, yes, the new highest paid kicker in the NFL. Titans still have not signed a kicker. Joey Sly, a free agent.
Okay. Tampa time. So what if
Tampa time.
I did it knowing it was coming, and it still got me anyway.
But it doesn't have to be a negative, right? That they're both kind of the same player.
DK and Robinson.
I think that Zach talked about on Football and Other F Words, their distinguishment between playing an outside role or a slot role, the percentage of where they play are almost like mirror-like. They both play like 60% of their snaps in the slot and the other on the outside. So maybe that helps your offense be less distinguishable. It's not like you signed a slot-only guy that is going to push Chim off the field or they can't be on the field at the same time. Maybe it helps you be multiple and keeps defenses guessing.
It could, right? That's in theory, that's what Tony and Tajay were supposed to be from a running back standpoint. It just never really manifested that way. Now, the devil's advocate of that would be, well, what if it's a coaching staff that doesn't love Chimere Dike and you start to see Chimere Dike phased out for the sake of Wan'Dale Robinson? Is there any world in which that's a possibility?
What, and DK is just a career specialist?
I don't know. I mean, this is not a coaching staff that drafted him. It's a front office that drafted him, so it's not like Rand Carthon. It's not one GM replacing another GM and saying, get this GM's picks out of here. And I don't think necessarily Mike Borgonzi was wrong to do it. The only thing that I vehemently disagreed with was the Brownlee thing. And if that's the biggest thorn in my side, it's not that big a deal on aggregate. But I think if we're going to talk about what the positives are here, it's also worth considering. Okay, well, what if it's not a good thing for Chim as a receiver?
I mean, what's the deal Rashid Shaheed just signed?
Like 17 a year. I think it's 3 for 51.
3 for 51. Yep, $34.7 million guaranteed. Not a huge factor for Seattle in the passing game. More of one in New Orleans. But, I mean, Chim Dike also has an opportunity to continue to develop.
Yes, he absolutely
have
does.
the kind of impact that Wan'Dale Robinson had last year with the Giants, while Wan'Dale Robinson has that impact now in the present with the Titans. And Chim can continue to be a high-impact player on special teams.
A couple of different comments. One in particular, if they don't like an all-pro, talking about Chim, I don't trust him. Well, he's not an all-pro receiver. He's an all-pro returner.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt that Chimere Dike is still going to be the punt returner or the kick returner for this football team. But, what does this mean for his offensive snap count? I have no idea. I have truly no idea. Could be good, could be bad, could be negligible. Push, right? We can talk about all of this stuff until we actually start to see deployment, which, I don't know, when would we have a good grasp on that? October? By the time we get around to this thing? It's just theorizing what this means long term. We'll obviously have press conferences to recap free agency with Mike Borgonzi. I would expect no later than next week in some form or fashion. We'll have owners' meetings, which I'll be at in Phoenix this year, where I assume that Borgonzi and Saleh will both be there, as Callahan and Borgonzi were both there last year, so some additional time to talk about these things, both pre- and post-draft. We will have the install with Greg Cosell, and we're looking forward to breaking down the draft class and the free agency. That's not a fine. It's an event. You go to that. Are you going to get fined?
I didn't bring him up.
Greg? Greg's not a fine.
Greg is fine. You should have seen all the women flaunting over him at the combine.
I told you, he's like the mayor of these things. It's between Super Bowl and combine. Greg, nobody enjoys being themselves more than Greg Cosell, I think, at these kind of events. Anyway, so we'll look forward to that kind of analysis. But just in the lead up, in principle, as a Titans fan, and I would defer to the one Titans fan in the room, where we got a Jets fan back there, we got a Ravens fan, and agnostic. Do you have any issue with them signing a player for more money than just trying to make it work with what they've got here?
No, because they have the money. And wide receiver needs to continue to still be addressed, right? Like, Wan'Dale Robinson is not your solution to the wide receiver position. It's something that needs to be addressed in the draft. For all we know, they could love Carnell Tate and draft him at 4. We have no idea. They could still make another move and add another receiver in free agency. But they have the money, so they've spent it. And they've spent it on a player that the, basically, head coach of the offense has identified as somebody that he can utilize within this offense and with Cam Ward. So it is tough for me to look at it and not like it. They will be capable of putting Wan'Dale Robinson and Chimere Dike on the field at the same time in certain packages of utilizing both of those players. That it is possible to do that.
Yeah, because I guess what the argument against it from Matt Harmon and from Bill Barnwell and from, because there were a lot of people who looked at the Titans and said, what are Titans fans so excited about? It's a bunch of players that I saw the joke being made by Giants fans that Brian Daboll just signed a bunch of players that got him fired with the Giants. And that's a very pessimistic way of looking at it, especially if you're looking, you've got John Harbaugh and you're looking for better things too, and, yucking somebody else's yum, because what else are New York fans going to do right now?
Well, oh, sorry, you go.
No, I was just, and I'll just wrap it up with this by saying, I've got no issue with a coach coming in here and saying, yeah, but I want to get rolling quickly. I know that it may take a little while for Chimere Dike to get to the point that Wan'Dale knows what I want in this offense. Chim, it may take him a couple extra months. It may take him a couple extra games. That's fine. At some point, if Chimere Dike makes Wan'Dale Robinson expendable, great. But in the interim, with a team that's got cap space to spend and just needs to find ways to support that quarterback both immediately and long term, I've got no real, I'm not against it. I'm not in love with it. It's just the same way that I feel about all of their signings. It's fine. Just get better football players. That's all this is about at the end of the day. Go ahead, Robert. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I feel like the one everyone is yucking is the name that is not prominent among less than average fans in the NFL of Cordell Flott, about who the hell is this guy? Why'd we give him $15 a year AAV? The Giants wanted him back. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like the Titans were the only team in his market. They wanted him back so much that they didn't have a plan for when he didn't come back. And this morning had to sign Greg Newsome to a 1-year, $10 million deal. So I think that's worth noting as well. Even if you don't know who a player is or someone doesn't know who a player is, that doesn't mean they're not viable or they can't help or they're not worth spending the money on.
Yeah, we've already pointed out the Vrabel example, the amount of former Titans that he brought up with him to New England and found themselves in the Super Bowl. But
oh, sure. Yeah, but these are not parallel situations. They're not going to have, we have no idea, but I don't think they're going to have the kind of path to the playoffs even that the Patriots,
it was laid quite beautifully.
I get why the comparison is made. I do not think you should be looking at New England and saying, why can't we do what they did?
The point is not to say you'll be in the Super Bowl. The point is to look at why these type of players with familiarity are brought in. And also, Brian Daboll's probably biggest issue in New York, I'm not going to act like I was sitting there. We all know the ins and outs of what went wrong up there. But offensive line, we would say, the most consistent problem for him?
No.
With the Giants,
not the last 2 years, no. They were one of the better units in the sport. That's why.
Last year they were good. Last year they were much, much improved.
That's why Bracilla was there.
Yeah.
And Bracilla was there for those last 2 years. Yeah. So that was an incremental process. No, it's not. There's a number of different answers to the question as to why did Brian Daboll get fired. But especially after the combine and talking to a handful of people, one, he's a hothead. He had a lot of explosive moments with both Kafka, who's the former Ravens DC that he got into a pissing contest with.
Wink
Martindale. They had two very public, very apparently explosive interactions with two members of his coaching staff, and Brian Daboll, one, was not a winning coach at the end, so ultimately it comes down to winning, but you had the additional context of, you know how much money he cost them with that Jackson Dart thing, the concussion thing? Like, that's a really bad thing that he did. That is something that NFL teams and NFL people in the NFL are very cognizant of, and that he's going to have to work his way back from. That may be the worst thing he did as Giants coach.
You're talking about
busting in on Jackson Dart in the middle of a concussion evaluation because he's panicked on the sideline trying to rush the team doctor. That's a huge red flag. So it's not like there's a number of reasons why he got fired. I also think that's a big reason why he's not a head coach right now. 615-737-1045 is the number. Last call for phone calls. We'll wrap up the show coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. So I just saw a fun prompt on Instagram from Barstool Sports that I think is worth wrapping up here with. Last call for phone calls if you got them. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. So Barstool has an Instagram story or Instagram reel up right now that simply asks the question of a number of their people, I guess around their office, who's the worst free agent signing your team? Now, this is not specific to the NFL because you're getting some baseball references in there, you're getting some hockey references in there. But if we're just to keep it to the NFL, and I can't answer this question, obviously. I can talk about worst Titans signings that they've made since I've covered them. But since I don't have an NFL team that I root for, I defer to the two of you. When I say worst free agent signing your team has ever made, who immediately comes to mind? One name, recognition, right off, knee-jerk reaction. Who's that player for the Titans, Lucas?
Knee-jerk reaction.
Because I've got a few in the last 10 years of me covering them.
I can give you some time to stall.
What you got?
I have two. One of them doesn't really count because the Ravens put themselves in this position. But Andre Villanueva, when he came over from the Steelers and played right tackle for the Ravens for a year, it was awful. They thought that, we can wait. Maybe this guy will work out. It didn't work out. Maybe we can sign somebody. You can't sign somebody. We'll just get this guy. He was good, wasn't he? He's not good anymore. He was horrendous in his 1 year with the Ravens. That would be probably the worst overall signing. And then the signing that I thought would be the worst signing in Ravens history, but it did not go through due to a failed physical. Do you guys remember Ryan Grant?
No.
He was a Commanders receiver. For 4 years, he was in Washington, had less than 1,000 yards in all those 4 years. The Ravens gave him a 4-year, $24 million deal.
Whoa.
And I was like, whoa, why the hell would you bring this guy in? And then Jeremy Maclin was released, and then his all of a sudden he couldn't pass a physical. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He ended up signing with Indianapolis and caught 35 balls for 300 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 1 touchdown the rest of his career. Great failed physical.
Mine it involves a former Titans player, but it was not a deal the Titans struck. It's Albert Hainsworth.
Oh,
in
Washington?
7-year, $100 million contract, which in 2009, $100 million contract, pretty record-setting for a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Clowney?
He was there for...
It's not Clowney.
Less than 2 years.
Beasley
was worse than Clowney.
Beasley was worse than Clowney. They were the same year. And I might argue that Jonathan Joseph was just as bad.
No, Beasley was worse.
No. I mean, as Clowney.
Oh.
Jonathan Joseph, Jadeveon Clowney, and Vic Beasley, that was the COVID year. Vic Beasley didn't show up for like the first 10 days, and that was when they instituted this hard, like the teams used to fine players for being late to stuff, like being late to the start of training camp and voluntary or mandatory, whatever, things that were going on. But you used to be able to give that money back to the player if they eventually showed up. Vic Beasley just ate like $100,000.
I mean, he straight up just didn't want to play football.
Did not want to play football.
He came here with the intention.
Got cut in November.
With the intention to just take money and not have to do anything.
Yeah, Clowney was bad and Clowney was hurt. Clowney, I think, ended up only playing 8 games here. But he was at least like, there were moments where you're like, all right, that is still a football player of some consequence, even if he's not, finishing the way that you want him to. Beasley was just a disaster. The only other one that I would put up there with Vic Beasley, and he was more willing to play football than Vic Beasley was, but not by much, Dillard.
Yeah, disaster.
Andre Dillard.
Yeah.
Every sense of the word.
Andre Dillard at every turn. And then a third one that I would put in honorary, because remember, Julio doesn't count. Julio was a trade.
Yeah.
Snead doesn't count. Snead was a trade. The honorable mention of worst, again, I'm just taking this in the last 10 years that I have covered them. You remember Sylvester Williams?
Yep.
defensive tackle.
You got a UNC.
That was one of John Robinson's first big free agent signings, and Sly Williams did nothing here.
Yeah.
He was very, very bad.
If you ask Google AI, I wonder what you guys think of this to see how accurate they were. They list Sylvester Williams as the biggest bust signing in Titans history.
Wow.
No, not more than Beasley.
Okay, so they
you simply cannot.
Like Beasley, that was COVID year.
Yeah.
I mean, Compton and Luan have talked about this. Like Beasley piped up during that year saying we should just not play.
Cancel the season.
We should cancel the season. Like he was the one guy that's like, can we not play football? And then didn't Will Compton tell that story about getting stuck in an elevator with him for a little bit, like at Nissan Stadium?
Oh, I don't remember.
Or something. And Vic Beasley, I can't remember if it was a road game or a home game, and the elevator got stuck for a little bit, and Beasley was like, do you think that like maybe we'll be stuck here for a little bit and like not have to play today? I can't remember the exact. Like the guy just straight up didn't want to do anything.
That's incredible. Yeah, because Beasley went to the Raiders after that. Like he continued to play.
Yeah, like Theoryfully points out in the chat, Clowney's still around.
It's your
Like,
buddy Jay.
He's still playing. It's not what's in the chat. He's still playing in the NFL. Vic Beasley is long gone.
Vic Beasley and Clowney literally lit almost $25 million of Amy's money on fire.
Just robbed him.
The rest of the list: Jonathan Cyprien, brought in for a 4-year, $25 million deal.
No, it wasn't a disaster.
It was not a bad deal because they got him. He was a weird cut in Jacksonville, and also it ended up leading. He blew his ACL in training camp, which ended up leading to Kenny Vaccaro, which ended up being one of the better signings that they made.
He played a role in that team that went to the playoffs and won a playoff game in 17.
They beat the Chiefs because he concussed Travis Kelce.
He low-key made the biggest play of that game. As bad as it is to say.
They've got Algie Crumpler on here.
That's pre-me, so I would defer to long-term Titans fans.
Yeah,
on
Algie Crumpler's up there.
Noted a crucial fumble in the 2008 postseason.
Against who, Robert?
I'm unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't want to incriminate myself. Calvin Ridley is the only active Titan on here.
Yeah, Calvin's right now tracking in that direction, but I don't know. I feel differently about Calvin. I don't think Calvin cares. You know, the other ones just didn't care. Straight up did not care about playing football for this team. I'm sorry. You had one more?
Nope, that was it.
Okay.
At least for that list. There's a couple of them on here.
All right, let's do some polls. Get out of here for the day. Andy Levitre. I haven't thought about Andy Levitre in 100 years. Good poll from somebody in the YouTube chat.
Around the NFL, Lev Bell comes to mind with the Jets.
Yeah,
they were bidding against themselves. Oh, the Ravens are interested. And after he gets signed, the Ravens were never interested.
Presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Who was your favorite Titan signing of day one? Mr. Focus, says JFM, John Franklin Myers.
I think he's the one that I like the most because that you want to give them the opportunity to have a truly special unit. I think him and Jermaine Johnson, we'll see what they do elsewhere up front, but I think they're tracking in that direction. That's a good combination.
Alante Taylor getting a lot of love, too. The Coffee County native and VFL coming back to Tennessee.
Understandably so.
What was... Go ahead,
Before
Rob.
the next poll, we do have some updates in the NFL. The Panthers releasing Ashawn Robinson, their defensive tackle, and we have the money on Elijah Vera Tucker's deal. He gets $14 million a year with a $250,000 bonus every game he is active. That's pretty nice. I wish I could get that gig.
What was your least favorite Titan signing of day one? Josh says Bellinger. Not that he won't be a capable player and backup, but for the price.
That's fine. I think it's okay. If you wanted to nitpick any of them for the price, it would probably be that one.
Those are the polls.
Okay, very good. Eric on YouTube asks, where will we be set up tomorrow at Bridgestone Arena? We will be there the rest of the week at Bridgestone Arena for the SEC tournament. Mike Keith will be on the show, yes?
Thursday, Mike Keith will be on the show.
We'll look forward to having the voice of the Vols join us.
Barrel House is the answer to the question that you just threw out there and didn't answer.
You know, it's in keeping with the show.
Come see us.
If you want, we'll be there.